Good day, everyone. Welcome to this first pilot test of Football Mate. Unfortunately, we suffered some technical issues. We were supposed to go live. I'm Juan. I'm from Argentina. I moved here to Australia 5 years ago. I met Sophia last year, and together we decided to do this show about talking about football and the differences that each country has and how they live the sport, right? So
hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to this very first pilot. As Juan has mentioned, we had a few technical issues. I'm Sophia. I met Juan at the Queensland Football Convention last year, and I think one of the conversations we had was around the differences between football in Australia and football in Argentina. And both of us are passionate about growing the game. And I think we can grow the game through things like smart investment and smart moves, but also ultimately through passion and culture. And I think that's sort of what sparked this for me, was try to understand the different journeys that everyone has connecting with football, and the different cultural elements to that, because I think, as Juan has talked about in Argentina, it is quite different. So I'm really keen to hear and learn from guests like Juan, who has very graciously traveled down the coast to join us today. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you very much for having me here. A pleasure to be with you guys.
Okay, so for the last context, so basically the show won't have a format. It's just a conversation between friends. Today we're going to have a guest from Argentina, but the idea is to have a different guest every single week from different parts of the world to tell how their life and how they cross paths with footballs. By that we are going to be talking about the different cultural differences and similarities between Australia and the country. Today, Argentina. But you have a particular way of living football in your life. You're not you're not a fan of watching every single match, or you don't follow a special league, but you love playing it.
Yep.
What is football for you?
Well, I'm a weird case in Argentina because, as Juan is saying, I don't really watch football, so I don't watch soccer on the TV. But I enjoy every single game, and every time that I can play, I play. And that was through my whole life. As one would say during the podcast, I'm assuming, football in Argentina goes through your whole life. You know, it's a social thing that you do. It's a work environment thing that you do. So it's kind of it involves everything in Argentina. I don't know. That's what
so
I think.
You played it growing up, and still now you enjoy playing it. And you mentioned like a work environment. What do you mean by that?
Well, I've mentioned before, so Argentina is a very social country or culture, I would say. So we like to share things. So one of the things that you do when you try to do social networking or events at work is you go and play soccer.
Oh, cool.
You play
Wow,
football
that's
with
awesome.
your friends, with your colleagues that you don't know them, but you play after work, and you start socializing. So that breaks barriers, and you start mingling
That's so cool.
with other people from other departments that you would never talk to them.
Right.
Probably.
Right.
So and start the connections and breaks barriers, and then you get to know some people in different floors if you're working in a big company, or people from the warehouse if you are in the office. So
that is so cool. I love that idea. I love that you guys do that.
Yeah, but it's not a special thing though. It's not like it's a massive event. No, it's probably every week that happens, and you rotate the people that join the team.
That's very cool. We sometimes have like an afternoon walk after work. Somebody from the office organizes it, and people can choose to go along to the walk or not. But I think football sounds a lot more fun.
100%. I had actually the same experience where I was an intern, so everyone, you know how the intern is the photocopy guy in a sense. You don't take photocopies nowadays, but I used to take photocopies back in the day. But the company launched an internal tournament, and they needed a keeper, so
cool.
I jumped in, and everyone loved me after that.
Wow. I mean, keeper's gonna be the hardest position as well. So hard.
It's ungrateful, but I'm the youngest I have an older brother, so of course I'm the keeper, so he could have fun. So that's like in Argentina, even the most introvert person still has a connection to football, and it's a space that allows them to open and connect with people.
Yeah, right.
I have a saying, like,
Okay.
if you see in Argentina, if you see your son is struggling to make friends, making a goalkeeper. He will always have friends because you always need a goalkeeper. There's a lack of goalkeepers. Everyone
Yeah,
wants to be a
right.
striker.
Yeah, because
So-
because goalkeeper is a really hard position, and then you let a goal in, everyone's like telling you why you did that. But obviously, if you make a save, everyone's like, "Great save, thanks for that." But yeah,
Well,
it's,
Goalkeepers win championships.
they do. This morning, I was talking to my dad during my lunch break, and he told me that he watched PSG versus Arsenal in the Champions League quarterfinal.
Semi-final.
Semi-final, sorry. And I think it was Donnarumma, who's the PSG goalkeeper.
Sorry.
Yeah, Saka hit not Saka, it was Odegaard. Hit like this bullet of a shot, and Donnarumma just like somehow made it, and he's had to take some sort of timeout because his shoulder is just like hurting.
He was making time. That's
No,
what
but,
goalkeepers
let's
do as
be
well.
honest.
Yeah.
No, but like it's hard. Like I've been goalkeeper down at the park, just like at the park casually with my friends. I'm not gonna dive and hit a bullet. Like I'm not. Like it would
Well-
hurt. I actually genuinely believe that he was in pain, for sure. Like that's a ball going that fast is not going to
Could be.
put your
I haven't
shoulder
watched
out.
it, but it could be. But you know the saying.
I haven't
you have
watched
to,
it either, but
That's
I can imagine.
That's his job.
You have to be crazy for being a goalkeeper. That's the say, right? And when you move to Australia, you moved here, what, 10 years ago?
11 years ago, yeah. And actually, that's a good story to tell here in this podcast because I came here to Australia with my girlfriend and I didn't have a job, so I was kind of free. I had
Yeah.
plenty of time. So the second week being here, one of our Argentinian friends, we went to a barbecue, we shared a drink, and he said, "Do you play soccer?" Of course. So I started to meet a lot of people because I joined a soccer club.
Yeah, right.
So football was kind of my entry door for socialization in Australia. And when you are a migrant, at the beginning it's difficult to start meeting friends because you have all your life that you left in Argentina and then coming back to a country that you don't know the society, people. So it's difficult to start connecting. So yeah.
And Aussies connect in a different way. Like, for example, when we go, like, my wife, in Argentina, women's football is starting, like, and as she was growing up, football wasn't a thing. But 10 years ago, it become a social thing for women to play sports. And my wife just went for, like, the Coke and the hamburger afterwards. It was more fun the afterwards. And joining with your friends, and
That's
it
right.
was,
Yeah.
and even the tournaments start making it like a nightclub in a sense. To start putting DJs.
It was for the after hour. not for
It's-
the-
so,
after
yeah. So it was more like, yeah, I go, I play for a little bit, I lose, I win, I don't give a shit, but it's for the Coke and the hamburger shop.
Yeah, and here was that. So we had the training, and in that club were kind of a 50 and 50% Europeans,
Mhm.
not Aussies. There were no Aussie, and then all the Latin American people. So and we use the after games or after training to start connecting. So it's not just about the beer; it's about just start chatting,
Yeah.
sharing his histories, and yeah.
That's very cool. Did you find that group online? Oh no, that was your friend who found it.
Correct. Yeah.
But is it a group that exists online, or like how do other people join?
A friend of a
word of
friend,
mouth.
friend of a
Yeah,
friend. So
okay.
word of mouth. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
okay.
So Juan played in that club as well. So when he came to Australia, I said, "Hey, come with me. I have a club, so we can play soccer."
Unfortunately, I'm retired and I'm his coach now. But plenty of guys from that team plays with us today.
Correct. So
So-
you start
Yeah,
building
okay.
that connection, because for us, probably for Australia as well, football is about a connection. So you don't win because you as a player you are the best. You're part of a team.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
team sport, and
Yeah.
if you don't understand that, you won't get any far, and you won't have a lot of friends either, because people in Argentina don't like those type of players either.
No, yeah. And if you don't play football, we have a friend that he doesn't play football, and it's weird. Like, I never play football? How can it be? Like, How did you grow up? How did you make friends?
For the
Never-
Argentinian
never at
society,
all.
you know.
Never at all.
No, and it's I don't know. I don't know.
I
It's
mean, my
like
friend Fernando is Brazilian from Sao Paulo. South America, I kind of go, like, I would talk to him about football, and he'd just look at me kind of like, yeah, I'm not into it. I get it, like, but it's not my favorite thing. And I don't know if he's ever played. I've not asked that question. He's played Brazilian, like, he does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I don't think I think he would be like that rare person, possibly.
Yeah, but it's not that the
He
person is
understands
rare.
it. He
It's a rare case.
He
But it's not
watched-
rare, you know.
Like, you watch it, he does watch it and stuff like that, and knows everybody, knows all the teams and stuff, but I don't know if he's ever played.
But for example, of course, there's a very small percentage of people who never play football in their life. But the people who watch the World Cup is 99.9% of the people. Even my mom, my grandmother, like Argentina is playing, you're watching it, especially if it is a World Cup.
There's
So-
a passion there. Yeah.
It's
So
amazing.
The country stops.
the
The
country
literals
Yeah, right.
stops. So no subways, no trains, no nothing. If
Wow.
there's a World Cup, you know, and it's an important
Wow,
game. If
wow,
not,
wow.
it's kind of
I remember I watched Argentina and Germany in a World Cup final when I was in Frankfurt.
so Brazil 2000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2014. And
unfortunately, we remember that one.
so I was in Germany, so it went crazy. It was crazy.
Well, you saw how crazy it was when we won it in 2022
Yeah.
back in Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Fun.
more
Things
of the
stopped.
most
Like you said, the metro stuff.
Yeah, everything stopped. Yeah.
Everything.
5 million people on the
Chaos.
streets. Because that's the thing as well. We celebrate coming out to the street, and we are a country divided by everything. The only thing that unites us is our national team in football.
Yeah, amazing.
So
Yeah, but probably that related to the culture that, but that's my view.
Yeah.
That, because Argentina is a third world country, and in the development, and it has a lot of suffering and a lot of things that don't go right.
Mhm.
And one of the things that you could put your passion on is on a team,
Yeah.
on the club's team, on the most popular sport in the
Mhm.
country. So it's like everybody cheers, and it's like a connection point for everybody because let's all support this, and it's a game.
Yeah.
We can do it and be all together
And
and
it
get a good
gives-
result
and
and
it-
enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy, because I think when there are, and like same with like I guess my background is English, and when I look at clubs in England, like the hardship or like sometimes some of those clubs are like founded on a community of people who just want to enjoy things.
Mhm.
So it's definitely a good outlet.
it's an outlet, 100%. There was a time where we had a populist government where football is pay-per-view. So you have to pay for it, like in here, Foxtel or one of those things.
Mhm.
Foxtel, you can pay right for us because we're promoting you or those sort of things. No, but and the populists took ownership of the rights and broadcast live because it was for the people,
Yeah.
and it was like
It's one of
Cool.
those
That's
things that
very cool.
is money not well spent. So I prefer that money to be spent in education or to the teachers or whatever. But because it's so popular in Argentina that you do those type of not okay things, but the people will say, good, we
Yeah.
have this for free, and,
Yeah,
and we
good.
love it.
Yeah. I get that.
exactly.
Well, I know you have limited time, but
Because actually
Oh.
I have a soccer game after this.
you have a soccer
Yep.
game. Oh, okay, well, awesome. Tell me, what's your favorite memory about in soccer? Maybe if you have like a favorite moment.
Well, actually, it's here in Australia in 2020 when we got promoted with the club. So we got promoted 4 times in a row. So we started in the 7th
Wow.
division and we ended up playing in the BPL. It was every year after every
Wow.
year. So it was a massive effort. So
Wow,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
that
is
club
cool.
that he mentioned.
That's very
that was
cool.
awesome. Yeah. And we was almost at the same base that we started on the 7th division. So it was like a real team bonded
Really?
together.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you made it into, did you say NPL?
BPL,
BPL.
the Brisbane Premier League. And
Oh,
then the
that's
I
still,
think,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
And one of the things that I want to mention is that Australia has a lot of support football. So Australia wants the football to grow.
Yeah.
And every time we were promoted to the next level and the next level, we're applying for grants to improve the club. So to put grass, to put lights, to improve the clubhouse, and the government was giving money for those improvements. So people can come to the club as a social thing for the community.
Yeah.
So
I think especially as you rise up the ranks, the better the division. Sometimes the greater the requirements are for the fields. You need like a fence. You need particular things.
Yeah, and
otherwise
also,
you can't enter that league.
And when we're playing at the 7th division, we got to the 5th division. So we were playing at 12 p.m. in Queensland on summer.
Yeah.
So that's hard.
That's so hard. Like,
So because you start having more physical needs, so we were asked to put better lights so we can play at night when it cools down.
Yeah,
so yes, you're right. So things starts to get bad.
Absolutely hectic to play in summer during that heat. I can't do it. No, like quite literally.
No goalkeeping, no summer. When do you play? AC
No,
on 23, please.
I do play, but what happens is I spend the rest of the day technically like quite ill. Like I get heat stroke sometimes.
Okay.
So like I'll just get so hot maybe that I'll get like a migraine, I might throw up, and I'll have to sleep. And sometimes maybe it's because I haven't drunk enough water.
Yeah.
So possibly it's like heat stroke and dehydration. But I'm playing like the whole 90 minutes. No one's subbing me off, and it's summer, and it's like, yeah. So I don't like playing in summer. But sometimes I've learned to cool myself down. Like I wear like a little towel thing at half time. Like you see tennis players.
Yeah, we were stopping every 20 minutes for hydration.
Yeah, and I need to,
and
and I like stop, and like sometimes even I ask my coach like, give me like the second half off, or like take me off in the second half because I don't like spending time being sick.
Yeah.
After this.
Okay, I think unfortunately Juan needs to run off to his soccer game. There's nothing worse in Argentina to be late to be one of our football matches, especially if it is a tournament.
Yep.
So I understand him.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
We were champions before, me being the goalie for the team,
That is correct.
because unfortunately I had to retire because of my knees, but I can still goalie. Nothing. To our viewers, we are going to do this on weekly basis. Next week, we hope we fix all of our technical issues and we are hope to get live. The idea is to do it between half an hour and 1 hour, but stay connected. We have guests already aligned from Australia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia. I have a Spanish guy. We have a couple of British as well.
Yep.
So we have exciting people coming along, and I hope you enjoy it, and more things to come.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you so much, Juan.
Thank you very much for having me here on the first show. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
And all the best for you guys on this journey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Vamos.
Yeah.